This is Dave Palumbo with a special Species Nutrition exclusive interview with Sarah LeBlanc, IFBB Bikini Pro, days before she gets on stage here at the IFBB Greater Gulf States Bikini Championships. Sarah, it's great talking with you again.
Hey Dave, thanks for having me back.
You're looking radiant as always, ready to do battle at the Greater Gulf States. Now, this is a hometown show for you.
Yes, it is. I wasn't planning on getting back on stage into the Olympia, and I really just absolutely love the way my body responded just during my training so far. So I couldn't miss the opportunity to get on stage in my hometown and my home state. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be fun.
Shows over the last couple of years. You have a lot of victories under your belt. You did originally tell us that you were going to take some time off till the Olympia. I know that you love to compete. You know, it's in your blood. You like getting up on stage and doing your thing. And it seems like you do get better and better from show to show. What was the original impetus for you not to compete before the Olympia? And then what made you change your mind?
So I think it was basically just to make sure my body would respond at its best going into the biggest show of the year. And, placing second in St. Louis, I really feel like it was like, I am already qualified. So let's just bring it. At that point, I had 7 months to just really focus on the Big O. And that's where things kind of really directed for me. And, my body was staying really lean and tight, and my conditioning was really great. So my husband said, Sarah, you should really jump into the show. Why not? Because he knows how much I do love it and getting on stage. And I have been working on a few changes to bring to the Olympia stage with my posing routine and suit color choices. So, it's really important for me to do a practice run as well. So I have some changes that I'm bringing to the show. And I'm excited.
Let me ask you a question, because when a bodybuilder says, I have some changes to my routine or my changes to my posing, we kind of can conceptualize what that is. When a bikini competitor says, I have some changes to my routine, what exactly does that mean for the people who might not understand that? And how do you think it translates into how the judges view you?
So I think stage presence is everything whenever it comes to, you don't get the opportunity to say much. So you really have to express yourself and present your physique in a way that calls a winner, to win the show. So I really feel like maybe in St. Louis, that was where I took second. Sometimes you can get comfortable, but it's not good to get too comfortable. So it was a lesson learned on my part. So every line needs to be sharp and crisp, and posture and poise. And, the art of bodybuilding for me and posing together is being able to express your physique that you're building. And, I've been saying that I really wanted to bring my lower body up in size, but I've been really creative with the way that I'm posing now. And I feel like I have that muscle that I've been looking for. So I'm just excited to get up there and try some things out and see if it's just more or less making the muscle pop in a certain way with the way that you're posing and presenting. So hopefully they perceive me for better, this next go round. So it's worth it to give it this trial run for me and see how that goes.
Now, Sarah, when we talk about, bikini presentation and being on stage, how do you, because you've kind of nailed it. You always know how to present in a very classy way what you got, but it's still sensual in the sense that the judges can see the sex appeal, but it's not overbearing. I see a lot of the girls almost trying too hard on stage. How do you know where to draw the line between looking, as we say, maybe in the dating scene, desperate versus cool?
So the way I do it for myself, and then I actually teach posing lessons through Skype and in person here locally, and it's more of a choreographed routine is what it is for me, and it brings me back to my cheer and dance years where, I really break down each step and see where the body's aligned, and, that girls come in for hour sessions and pose for their 12 weeks going into their show, to make sure everything's on point by the time they get there. So to me, it's like a dance. it's very relatable for me as far as you turning and, posture and poise and, so I think of it more like a dance.
So,
And that helps.
so you're telling me every single move that you make on stage is predetermined and choreographed because it looks so effortless to me. I just think, well, Sarah just looks like very comfortable on stage. That this must come naturally to her, but it's not. It's really a definitive, planned out, plotted out, way you're moving.
Oh, definitely. And practice makes perfect. It's something that you have to practice over and over again. Because if not, you're not going to get that good picture. And it's all about that final picture that you get. And I think that's what kept me competing over and over again. Because every show, my pictures would get better and better. Just the smallest little turn of the shoulder or 1 foot in front of the other, whether it was an inch apart or an inch out, in whatever direction, it makes a world of a difference of how you capture in that photograph on stage. So, it's all in the littlest details. So I have a few that I'm going to change for this show. I have a few little details.
when I used to pose on stage, I would look at my posing routine after. And, we didn't really have as much video back then, but there was the bigger shows with video. And I would look and I'd be like, oh, how horrible was I at this and how horrible was I at that? Do you look at yourself after a show and evaluate like how you looked on stage? And do you seem as horrified as I was at myself? Are you that critical?
I think I'm absolutely that critical. It's something we do, I think, and I think that's why we're bodybuilders, and perfectionists that we are. But I look back months later in appreciation, and I love it that much more when I look back, versus looking at it in the moment. For some reason, it's that way. But yeah, I'm pretty critical.
Well, I think you need to be that way.
I always want to make it better.
Of course. Well, you got to be that way if you want to be the best, and I know that's the goal, to be the best for you. Talk to me. I know that you use different species nutrition supplements when you're in off-season mode versus contest mode. When you get into that dieting mode, which are the supplements that you like to use best and that you find really work into your protocol?
Well, I'm definitely loving all of your the B mineralized and the joint authorized and the lipolyzed. That's definitely something that I'm really seeing a lot of benefit. And I mean, the cookies and cream protein pudding, that stuff is by far the best. But I had to cut that out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But really, like, all of the products that, I've tried so far are absolutely phenomenal. And a lot of people are catching on to it around here and trying it. So it's definitely the new thing around here.
Well, the good thing is that the good thing is that the multivitamin, the mineralized, and the essential fats, the omega lipids, are just something that you can always keep. They're a staple of any off-season or pre-contest, and then it's nice to always be able to kick the lipolyzed and somalized, which are your fat burners that are stimulant-free, into the program when you're dieting. And I assume probably when you're off-season, I know you like to use the protein powders, the cookies and cream. Pudding is always awesome. And do you find that you eliminate shakes when you're getting ready for a competition, or do you keep them in like up to the end?
Well, I do keep them in up until probably about 4 weeks out. And it just depends on like where my body's at, if we keep them in a few more weeks. But it kind of depends,
Do you find that you have to suffer the last couple of weeks to really get your body to come in, or is your body kind of pretty well trained at this point that you don't really have to push too hard at this level?
I really didn't fluctuate too far off of, contest prep from St. Louis. So I feel like, I maintained whenever I decided I wanted to do the show, I was about 5% on the skin fold. So for me, this prep has been one of the most easiest because I was just right there. I feel like I just had to, put my mind to it and, do a little work. And I feel like I'm going to have a really good look coming into the show because it hasn't been that hard on me. So that is definitely something that I've learned this go round where here on out into the Olympia, I would like to maybe maintain about that percent and, try to make some lean gains going into, the Olympia and not really, letting the body fluctuate too far off. So I felt like I hit a good balance, then, and I think that's what it's about. So you don't really like have to crash into any show or try to squeeze yourself down tight in the end.
Absolutely. Well, let's before I let you go, why don't you give a stand up? I know you like to stand up anyway. Stand up and give us a little. I guess you could say, sneak preview of your routine that we'll see this weekend at the IFBB Greater Gulf States in the great state of Louisiana, where you will be trying to earn your first victory there. And we love the camo tank top. Sarah LeBlanc doesn't get much better than this, and you can see her this weekend in Louisiana at the Greater Gulf States, where she's going to try to take home the title. Thanks, Sarah. Good seeing you. Good luck this weekend.